Okay, in this video we're going to go over the steps to adding and subtracting fractions. So if I have 1/2 plus 4/5, I can make my 4 squares, and my first step says write the problem, which we've already done. My second step says find the least common denominator. So I'm going to list the multiples for 2 and 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, and then for 5 we're going to have 5, 10. So the least common multiple that they have in common is 10. Therefore my LCD is 10. What that tells me is that I want the bottom number, which is my denominator, to become 10. So I'm going to do what I have to do to be able to get this to be 10 and this to be 10. What am I multiplying 2 by to get it to be 10? I'm multiplying it by 5. I must follow the rule that anything I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. Therefore, 1/2 is equivalent to 5/10. I have not changed the value, just the size pieces. 4/5, I need to multiply 5 by 2. Anything I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 4 times 2 is 8. Now I have two fractions with common denominators. Therefore, I have 5/10 plus 8/10, which would give me 13/10. Okay, on 13/10, that gives me an improper fraction. So I must divide the top by the bottom to get my mixed number. 10 goes into 13 one time, and 1 times 10 is 10. Subtract, and I have 3 left over. 3 will become my numerator, and 10 will be my denominator, the number I'm dividing by. So I have 1 and 3/10. I know that 3 is a prime number, so it can only divide by itself. So 10, I ask myself, can it divide by 3? No, it can't. So this fraction is in simplest form. Now let's try a subtraction problem. Okay, on this one we're going to have 7/8 minus 2/3. We're going to draw our 4 squares and find the common denominator for 8 and 3. 8 has multiples of 8, 16, and 24. I know I don't have to go any bigger than that because I know I can multiply 8 times 3 and get a common denominator. But I wanted to see if I could find one smaller. So now I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. So the smallest denominator they have in common is 24. So I take my 7/8, and I don't know why the screen just got smaller, but we're going to keep going. I take my 7/8 and my 2/3, and I'm going to multiply top and bottom to get the bottom number to be 24. So I want to multiply 8 times 3, and anything I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. And I want this number down here to also be 24. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 8. Anything I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So therefore, 7 times 3 is 21. That gives me my numerator there. And 2 times 8 is 16. That gives me my numerator there. Now I have two fractions that have common denominators. So now I have 21/24 minus 16/24. Now, don't make a mistake by not borrowing here. Write this problem out. The 1 becomes your 11, the 2 becomes the 1. So 11 minus 6 is 5, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I have 5 over 24 because my denominator does not change. Now I know that the number 5 is a prime number. It can only divide by 1 in itself. So can 24 divide by 5? Nope. Then therefore, 5/24 is in simplest form.